With federal unemployment benefits set to end, tenants are facing a true eviction crisis. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. All right, so I have an interesting article for you today, and it's not exactly going over something that has to do with real estate per se, but it will affect our tenants and it will possibly cause more people to face eviction. Okay, so it has to do with the end of the extended benefits for unemployment from the federal government. And a lot of people are seeing this as a good thing, especially business owners, because they say that too many people have been going too long without, going out there, getting a job. And so if you go to places like McDonald's and all these fast food places, they can't even find employees right now. So they want these federal extended unemployment benefits to end as soon as possible. But for landlords, it actually could end up being a bad thing because some tenants were using those unemployment benefits to pay their rent. So unless they go out and get a job as soon as possible, there are some landlords who could have to face, putting more tenants through the eviction process. But before I get into the article, go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button, maybe leave a comment down below, and let me know what you think of them ending these federal unemployment benefits, okay? I think it's a good thing. I'm not a fan of all of this, socialism, and I knew that eventually it would have to end. I do believe that overall the labor market, the economy will be better if there are more people working and less people who are 100% dependent on the government. And that comes in terms of both the eviction moratorium and these extended unemployment benefits. So this article, it comes from apnews.com, and it says, 2 anchors of COVID safety net ending, affecting millions. And this article kind of goes over, one of these hard luck stories from some tenant who is going to be losing their unemployment benefits. So bear with me, and I'll let you know what I think of the whole thing, okay? Mary Tobenier went 15 months without a paycheck thanks to the COVID pandemic. A housekeeper at the Hilton Hawaiian Village resort in Honolulu, the single mother of 2, saw her income completely vanish as the virus devastated the hospitality industry. For more than a year, Tobenier depended entirely on boosted unemployment benefits and a network of local food banks to feed her family. Even this summer, as the vaccine rollout took hold and tourists began to travel again, her work was slow to return, peaking at 11 days in August, about half her pre-pandemic workload. So yeah, this lady, she lives in Hawaii, right? And just in case you're not aware, Hawaii had one of the strictest lockdowns in the entire country. They just completely closed the state off to even travel from other people in the United States. And the only reason they were able to do that was because they're an island, okay, out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. If they were anywhere else, they couldn't have even done this. But they basically said that anyone coming in, even from the continental U.S., other U.S. citizens, had to quarantine for 2 weeks. And they did go out and arrest people who didn't quarantine in their hotel room. So that basically killed their travel industry. And even now, a lot of people won't travel there just because of what they did. So if they want to blame anyone for any of this mess happening, they can blame the government of Hawaii. So, I understand that travel, it's a bad thing. The whole pandemic was a bad thing for everyone, but lockdowns, stay-at-home orders, and all that only made it worse for small businesses, okay? Tobenier is one of millions of Americans for whom Labor Day 2021 represents a perilous crossroads. 2 primary anchors of the government's COVID protection package are ending or have recently ended. Starting Monday, an estimated 8.9 million people will lose all unemployment benefits. A federal eviction moratorium has already expired. While other aspects of pandemic assistance, including rental aid and the expanded child tax credit, are still widely available, untold millions of Americans will face Labor Day with a suddenly shrunken social safety net. Yeah, well, here's the thing, okay? We're talking about millions of people who are 100% dependent upon the government, and that isn't the way that a society should operate. Okay, I know that the government put them into this situation, but here's the thing. Okay, we have to return to normal. We cannot have these people indefinitely dependent upon government. And that is basically what these social safety programs have done. And I don't believe in socialism. I just don't. I believe in capitalism. I believe that capitalism is the thing that can get us through this. And unfortunately, people in the tourism industry and in states that are very tourism dependent, such as Hawaii, are going to be suffering until we are able to get back to a state of normal. And that's just not going to happen as long as we have these people out there who are, okay, well, we need to, provide rental assistance for these people forever. We need to provide, income for these people forever. And we need to give them free food. And, and then you're going to have this huge population of people who just don't want to work anymore. What's the benefit of working when the government is paying for everything for them? That's why I don't believe in keeping up with these eviction moratoriums anymore. The rental assistance, it should be very limited, and then it should just be cut off after that. And then these people need to either start paying their rent again on their own or just get the heck out of these properties, because we don't need the government paying rent for a majority of the population. Will be a double whammy of hardship, said Jamie Contreras, Secretary Treasurer of the SEIU, a union that represents custodians in office buildings and food service workers in airports. We're not anywhere near done. People still need help. For millions of people, nothing has changed from a year and a half ago. For Tobenaier, 43, that means her unemployment benefits will completely disappear, even as her work hours vanish again. A fresh virus surge prompted Hawaii's governor to recommend that vacationers delay their plans. Yeah, and unfortunately, places will have to, face the facts that, hey, this pandemic, it is ongoing, okay? It is not going to end anytime soon. And we cannot continue to live as though this is going, if we just hold out for a little bit longer, because already it's been a year and a half. We're going on 2 years now. Okay, we're going on 2 years of this. I mean, how long do you think that people can just be unemployed? How long do you think people can just go without working any sort of job? They're going to have to change the type of work they do. They're going to have to find different ways to make income. That's an unfortunate fact. I mean, I'm not happy about that, but that's just the way it has to be. But, we cannot depend upon the government to pay our bills on and on into the future. And these unemployment benefits, they had to end. Somebody can't just be on unemployment for 2, 3, 4 years straight. Now, the reason I believe this is because I went through the last recession, okay? I faced unemployment myself during the last recession. Back in 2008, I was unemployed for 6 months. I looked everywhere for a job, and I ended up having to change my career field just so that I could find work. Okay, I was working in telecommunications for AT&T, and they laid me off, and I couldn't find another job in telecommunications that paid well. And that's how I ended up working in law enforcement, because I knew that I couldn't go back to telecommunications at that time and find a job. So I needed something, and I was willing to change careers in order to get stable employment. And it worked out well for me, and I'm still in law enforcement to this very day because of that. And I'll probably never work in telecom again. It's really scaring me. Oh, I'm sorry. For Tobenaier, 43, that means her unemployment benefits will completely disappear. I'm sorry, I already read that paragraph. It's really scaring me, she said. How can I pay rent if I don't have unemployment and my job isn't back? She's planning to apply for the newly expanded SNAP assistance program, better known as food stamps, but doubts that will be enough to make up the difference. I'm just grasping for anything, she said. So, yeah, bad situation for a lot of the people who are unemployed to be in right now, considering the government actually is the one to blame for shutting down a lot of these businesses and a lot of these industries. And that there are a lot of jobs available right now, though. Okay, so